Guys, Bill McMillan here with NDWX.com. A quick video update for you. Tuesday evening, and a big storm is wrapping up over the northern plains this evening, responsible for those blizzard conditions from Colorado and points northeast, now getting into Minnesota and Wisconsin. Meanwhile, severe weather is breaking out across the south and the mid-south regions. Also noticing some thunderstorms trying to fire up here across southern portions of Illinois this evening. We think probably after that initial round of activity continues to scoot northeast, we expand coverage of showers and thunderstorms yet again later this evening, and a rather bumpy couple of hours ahead, we think, before things begin to settle down. Speaking of that, this is the latest simulated radar off of our HRRR, and we'll put this into motion. Again, we focus on southern portions of the state for the most likely area of strong to severe thunderstorms tonight. Some of these including damaging winds and some isolated spin-up tornadoes. We'll continue to eye really I-70 and points south for the greatest threat of severe potential over the next few hours. Putting this into motion, we notice that things will begin to shut down rather quickly as we move into the overnight. After midnight, that cold front sweeps through here. We think we probably turn much cooler, breezy, but much drier again during the overnight. So you'll be able to sleep knowing, at least once we get through the next few hours, you're going to be able to sleep during the overnight, knowing that storms are out of the way and you won't have to worry about that. So that'll at least be nice. Now, before we get to that point, we dry things out. Some locally heavy rain will fall downstate, southeastern Indiana, certainly in play for potentially 1.5 to 2 inches in spots here with some of those heavier thunderstorms. Across central Indiana, most likely a 1/2 inch to 1 inch is a good bet. That accounts obviously for what has already fallen today. Now, as we move into Wednesday, we notice that after we deal with a bit of drier air to start the day, some wraparound moisture will likely pivot through here tomorrow afternoon, and some of this will fall in the form of wet snowflakes really from central Indiana and points north. It's not going to amount to much from an accumulation standpoint, but don't be surprised again to see some snow in the air tomorrow afternoon with the colder air around. Moving into next week, we've been talking about this for a while. A big pattern shift for much more wintry conditions is ahead next week. Whether or not we deal with a major storm and get the southern and the northern jet stream to phase, or whether we deal with multiple northern stream systems is yet to be determined. Modeling today leads us to kind of lean toward the direction of a very fast, active northern stream providing multiple opportunities for accumulating snow next week. That's the way things stand now. We'll continue to fine-tune it moving forward, but as it is, we look for the first blast of Arctic air to blow in here Monday to open up the work week, and that's going to have accumulating snow prospects written all over it. Some snow showers, embedded heavier squalls, gusty winds, and much colder air. But it's not going to stop if we go with this busy northern stream pattern. I'm going to back this up for you. Before we talk about next week, we should note that the upcoming weekend looks rather tranquil and mild, really. Mid to upper 40s, a good bet over the weekend, maybe even 50 degrees in spots. So enjoy it while we can. We've got some weak ridging that we'll deal with to wrap up the week and head into the weekend. But again, as we move into early next week, fast forward this to Monday, this is the first of potentially a series of northern stream systems that move through the area, again in each dealing the area some accumulating snow potential. By the way, this was our potential area that if we could slow the southern stream down just enough, let it hook up here with the northern stream, we were going to be dealing with a monster storm up along or just west of the mountains. Not totally writing that off, but you definitely have to admit that the theme here over the past few days has been to kind of keep these separate. We'll keep a close eye on it. Again, the impacts locally, it really may not matter. Whether we deal with big snow in one hit or multiple lighter events that continue to stack up is yet to be determined. But that's kind of where we're leaning right now, at least. We'll continue to keep a very close eye on things. Again, this is the 500 millibar pattern off the GFS forecast model. And what this does is it shows us areas of upper air energy, or disturbances, if you will, that are plenty capable of producing accumulating snow this time of the year. So as we put it into motion, I'm going to notice Monday's system and then coming around the bend yet again. Here's another event for Tuesday, and it really doesn't stop. Meanwhile, we just really get the Arctic air entrenched over the Ohio Valley. This is an incredibly cold look. And if we lay some snow down, we're dealing with temperatures that are going to go below zero next week. It's as easy as that. It's not hard to say that with this overall pattern. So some of the ideas that we've seen out there that winter's over with, you may want to think again, given this pattern. Moving forward, it's going to be challenging enough just handling next week, but moving forward, we think really that the colder, active time of things probably takes us into March. Not to say it's got to be that way the entire time, but when we look at it from a high-level overview of, let's just say, February 10th through March 10th, we think that we're probably colder than average and continued active. This has been a backloaded winter that we've been talking about, and the potential is great still for accumulating snow to contend with as we move down the road. So just wanted to touch on that. Closing things out this evening before we look at our 7-day, I'm going to slide this over just a little bit for you. There we go. We just wanted to show you the ensemble plot here of the overall temperature swing from the warmer than normal conditions across the Ohio Valley and the Northeast region now to that much colder look out there heading into week 2. So certainly a different pattern altogether in the longer term. This is our latest 7-day that was posted this morning. Thunderstorms continue to again grow and expand in coverage and intensity most likely over the next couple of hours. That will give way to a cooler, blustery, overcast day Wednesday with some scattered rain and snow showers, a good bet. We turn drier and calmer heading into the upcoming weekend, the Super Bowl weekend. Very excited for that. And then the first of potentially a series of accumulating snow events arrives Monday with much colder air. Guys, have a wonderful evening. Thank you as always for logging on to ndwx.com. We'll talk with you soon.